Alright guys, put down below what your Bitcoin price prediction is for the short term and for this correction. Do you think we'll actually go lower, or do you think 30,000 was already a good bottom before we'll see another huge surge towards what's going to be $65,000? Let me know in the comment section down below, and by doing that you're also automatically entering into our $100 crypto giveaway. Alright, all you have to do for that one is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. Whew, I'm pretty excited, guys. Pretty excited today. We got quite a lot of really interesting news. Starting it off, the SEC enforcer behind the $1.3 billion Ripple lawsuit is stepping down. The SEC Commission's acting enforcement director, Mark P. Berger, led high-profile enforcement actions against cryptocurrency ICOs. Mark P. Berger is acting director of the Division of Enforcement at the SEC. He played a major role in this whole lawsuit, and he is leaving the agency this month. So quite a lot of people have been speculating about why this is happening or how it got this far, because if you think about it, I think it's very interesting how this lawsuit really seems quite timed, right? It kind of seems like on one end it is timed because all cryptos are surging up and XRP cannot really do that because they're being sued. On the contrary, this lawsuit was quickly put out just before the complete change of the SEC. All the members are switching over. Why did they do it that way? Was it really just so that they could at least enforce like they wanted to and have the bad name on themselves, and then the new I guess, reign, or whatever you want to call it, can just tune it down and just say, hey, you know what, they made a mistake, too bad, we'll just correct it here, and thus it's not a security, or what is it? We really don't know. But Mark P. Berger, who was named the Deputy Director of Division Enforcement at the US SEC in August, is leaving the agency before the end of the month, according to an SEC press release. He was appointed acting director of the division after Stephanie Avakian departed from the SEC in December. Though Berger's time in the top position was short, it bears at least one major highlight: the SEC's $1.3 billion lawsuit against XRP, basically, and the lawsuit, which was unveiled at the tail of Avakian's tenure, alleges Ripple did not register the sale of XRP, the third largest crypto by market cap. The SEC views it as security, yada yada yada, and when I looked into this, I was like, hey, it is first of all very strange that they did this, but also, haven't you guys seen this little list? Leonidas just now posted the SEC v. Ripple Labs Inc., Brad Garlinghouse and Christian A. Larson, attorneys for all sides. And I'm going to quickly say, this might shock you. Look at Brad Garlinghouse's attorneys here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chris Larson's attorneys, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ripple Labs attorneys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then the SEC, 1, 2, 3. So that's definitely interesting. It's not to say that all of these are better than these three. It's just that they put all the freaking power into making this right. And the more I'm reading here, guys, the more I know that Ripple is prepared to win this, and they knew that this was going to happen from the start. Consider, don't you also think Ripple knew for a couple of years that the SEC was eventually going to either sue them or provide some negative clarity which they had to battle? The reason I keep on saying that is because in December somewhere, Ripple posted a little tweet out, and I don't know if I can really find it quickly here. Has anybody tagged Ripple? No, but Ripple posted a interesting little tweet out about how even if XRP were to be declared a security, it wouldn't be too bad because they just move and only 5% of their customers are from the US. So Ripple's really ongoings would not really change too much. And I thought about that for the longest time now. And I thought, you know what? Ripple surely must have been prepared for at least an accusation, as they've also thought about what would happen to their company. So in that sense, they had years as well. Even though the SEC had not charged them for years, which was kind of bad because otherwise it would have been a lot further, they also had years to prepare for eventually an action like this. So I don't think they've prepared for all 450-ish points that the SEC made, but I do think they were prepared for at least half of them already. You know, they had answers, they knew everything because, well, logically speaking, they knew this was going to be coming. So at least you're going to prepare something if it's such a big operation and such a pivotal point for your company and, of course, for the crypto space. Now, I'm going to quickly also tell you guys, if you're from the US, to check out Webull. There's a good link down below. I'm not saying a good link. It's just a normal link, whatever. Webull is a platform where you can trade stocks and cryptos, and if you're from the US, you can get a couple of stocks for free, which is why I tell people about it. And GSX is a gold-backed coin, the first of its kind. A lot of people in the comment section don't seem to like it. I personally do. Hey, and everybody got their own opinion about coins, right? I invest in a lot of different coins just because I want to try them out and hopefully make a lot of money with it. I've also been very heavy into Binance and staking and stuff like that. So, by the way, just check out all the links down below. I have them there for a good reason. I'm also going to be pushing NordVPN soon because I think you can get a good deal, all right, by the link. But I'm still discussing that a little bit better. However, this gold-backed coin basically is in Zimbabwe. They have gold-rich land and gold. They're going to be mining, and the more that they mine, the more worth it's going to be, basically, and the more they'll reinvest into more land, basically increasing the valuation of their assets, which are backing the GSX coin. Right now, there's a 21% bonus plus 5% bonus for using my link and some other bonuses if you're buying huge amounts. I'm just saying, check it out, because I personally put some money into it. Again, it's not a guarantee, though. ECB's Christine Lagarde says speculative Bitcoin needs global regulation. In a speech at a Reuters online event Wednesday, Lagarde said Bitcoin was a highly speculative asset, and she has a very good point. All right, we all know there's quite a lot of bad sides to Bitcoin, and the bigger point behind it, I would say, is the fact that we are not sure whether or not Bitcoin will actually be cracked down or whether or not it can actually be broken by some quantum computing that might come eventually. Basically the end of proof of work. Hence, of course, we're quite happy with XRP since that's really impossible to be broken, basically, since we got David Schwartz in the lead, right? Updated. European ECB President Christine Lagarde says Bitcoin has facilitated funny business and needs to be regulated at an international level. In an interview at a Reuters online event Wednesday, Lagarde said the highly speculative asset has led to some reprehensible activity, including money laundering, and any loopholes need to be closed, according to the report from Reuters. There has to be regulation. This has to be applied and agreed upon at a global level because if there is an escape, that escape will be used, she said. The EU Central Bank chief added that there will be a digital euro, hopefully in no more than 5 years, according to other reports, and the ECB has been looking into the benefits and risks of a euro-based digital currency since the Facebook-backed Diem, formerly Libra, project was announced in June 2019. There's also one point I need to make here about CBDCs. I noticed quite a lot of people in the comment section did not really understand what a CBDC was. And let me explain to you in the simplest way as possible. A CBDC is different from a stablecoin since it is not backed by something. It is not like a stablecoin like USDT or USDC where they are trying to get as many dollars to back that coin to make it, really follow the dollar as accurately as possible. What a CBDC is in case of the US dollar, or let's say in the case of the US or the EU, whatever, what it really is just really accepted currency. So if EU were to come out with a CBDC, that would be the currency. The CBDC is a real currency. It's not backed by anything. It's not going to, it could actually back something in the sense that there could be some stablecoins pegged to that CBDC. But it's basically just like some wrapped Bitcoin, USDT and something like that, if it were to be a backing for something. But it's basically just like the US dollar like you have right now, or the euro that you have right now, but then fully online. It is no backing, it's just really trusting the government still that holds there, but then it's a little bit different because it's completely online. So it's a little bit different, but it's still the same to a certain degree that it's just a real currency on its own. You guys get that? It's real accepted currency, basically. Now, I've tried for a little bit to see how I could explain it in the best way, and I'm gonna still, I guess, have to work on my good explanation here. But the biggest point is just that it's a completely different currency, but it's completely accepted and not backed by anything. It's not like a dollar following. It is just always going to be one, for example, right? If you have let's say it's dollar basically, but then online, let's just see it in that sense. It's going to always be one. It's not going to be following the dollar, but it's going to be $1. It's going to be the unit that you use to measure things, basically. Again, here's another call with some exact quotes even, but it's all the same thing. Christine Lagarde here, however, this thing is not accurate at all to what she looks like, I find, but all right. Wow, that's a that's a funny drawing right there. It makes her look a lot younger though, like this. She looks like However, again, she is quite realistic about it in the sense that, yeah, we do need some heavier regulations in a certain sense. However, that's also because they want the whole crypto space to not be outside of the financial system. They don't want it to change the financial system. They want to bring it inside of the financial system. You guys get what I'm trying to say there? So Yeah, of course, heavy regulations would mean that there's no more loopholes, no more good margin of profitability eventually either. They just want to regulate it properly. But I do get it as a government or as a central bank or any authority basically that you would like to do that. Then another point I should make is that any crypto investor should be prepared to lose all their money. I made a video, I think yesterday was, explaining how you should be careful, and people didn't take it nicely. You know, there was a lot of hatred towards it, and it was one of my most disliked videos, basically. I think it got like 70 dislikes or so. However, the point still remains. I'm going to say it once more. You are putting your money into something speculative. And even though I'm here for the long term, it even got 80 dislikes. That's crazy. Even though you're here for the longer term, and I am too, and I'm pretty happy to be a holder, there are some risks associated in the sense that we can't get an 80% price drop. We can't get a 95% price drop. We can't get a 99% price drop. We can get some heavy regulations where trading crypto or having crypto might be completely banned. Now, does that mean you cannot own it anymore? Does that mean you cannot trade it anymore? No. That might mean that it's going to be a lot harder, or that you, following the government's laws, might not really have access to your money anymore. You're saying, oh, but they can't outlaw crypto. Oh, yes, they can. Crypto will still be used even if they do so, but they could make some really strong and heavy rules against it, like, for example, calling it a security that might really hurt your holdings, basically. So just think about that you could lose 95%, you lose 90, whatever. However, we're here for the longer term. I don't think it's going to happen, but you should understand that it is a possibility. All right, as long as you have that in the back of your head, you're always going to be good. I know, I'm really prepared to get $10 million out of this whole crypto ordeal, but I'm also prepared to come out with, let's say, $5,000 in total, if you guys get what I'm trying to say. All right, where you just lose a lot of your portfolio, but again, it will never go to real zero. It will always have some money inside of it, but it could go down by at least 80% or so if the odds are really stacked against it, which I don't think it will, but hey, it could happen, theoretically speaking. Why Bitcoin dropped to $30,000 and where it's headed next? This one here is so stupid because it's always going to be a question of who thinks they're right the best. Like, there will always be people saying, oh, this is what caused Bitcoin to fall down. This is what caused Bitcoin to correct. But in the end, this is all in hindsight. If any of these guys really knew, and that's also something funny that I see on Twitter quite often. I see guys saying, did you follow me? Saying where I'm saying short. Did you short as well? But they always say that a couple hours later with a chart from, maybe a couple hours earlier or something like that. They just make it look like they knew all along. But that's, again, if you call two sides. You're saying, for example, I saw a couple of guys on Twitter, like maybe Goxine or something like that, say, hey, no, it wasn't Goxine. It was, I think, I don't know who it was. Maybe Rand Nooner. He said we won't go down below 34.5 thousand for Bitcoin. Well, we did. We went down another, 12% or so to $30,000. There's always going to be guys who are saying both sides. They're saying, hey, Bitcoin is going to be amazing, but we can crash. What's that supposed to be? I just said it again in the sense that you can lose all your money, even though I think it's going to be amazing. That's just basically a warning. But a lot of these guys say, hey, follow me. Bitcoin's either going to go up or it's going to crash. So, are you following me? Yes or no? That's all I see on Twitter. These guys saying, oh, I knew it all along that the price is going to switch or drop down. They don't know. You can analyze something, but this market is so irrational and so manipulated as of this point because there's not enough money inside of it that I don't know if it really makes a lot of sense. Again, you might call out that it does. I'm just personally saying, even though there is money to be made, quite a lot of money to be made in trading, there will always be somebody who's better at trading than you. There will always be more manipulation than you can handle, in the sense that there will always be manipulation that you cannot predict or, you couldn't really do anything against. And there's still always a potential of you just being completely wrong for no good reason, in the sense that it's still manipulation. You might have all the fundamentals correct, everything might line up, and you still might lose. Why? Because that's the way trading works. That's the way the crypto market works as of this point. It is unpredictable. Even though, once more, I said you can make money with it, it is unpredictable in the bigger sense. You don't know exactly where it's going to switch over. Maybe one in every 100,000 people knows, all right, because they are lucky. It doesn't mean somebody can actually time a bottom or a top, because any level you're going to put in there has a probability. If you put your Fibonacci's in, it doesn't mean it has to switch over there. Even though you got 1,000 confirmations that it should, it doesn't mean it has to do that. We could literally just soar past it like no tomorrow. It could. Same for a bottom. Even though you might have 1,000 confirmations, we can't go a lot lower than that. Like always, it's just a higher chance that we won't. It doesn't mean it's certainty. So any guy saying we knew for 100% certain, even if I ever claim to know that, it's never true. Because it could have always done it, just passed it, and I would have still been like, oh yeah, I know, it was expected. You would always say that because, well, it can always happen. So it's always expected, whatever happens to the price, whatever. That's just my little rant about people who say, I predicted this, I predicted that. We knew it all along. No, you didn't. You thought so with a, let's say, for example, 65, 85% probability, whatever. However, that probability is still skewed since there's so many unknown variables at play where you cannot have such a high probability because you don't know what variables you're missing, basically. Your error is pretty high in this sense, whatever. The bigger picture, though, again, for where Bitcoin eventually might hit, some people say they can't predict. That's okay. You know, if you're just predicting, for example, eventually Bitcoin will go to 100,000 because yada, 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 okay. But if you're saying, December 3rd, it's going to be $13,856, just wait for it. I don't know how people can do that. I think it sounds too good to be true in my opinion. But hey, whatever, that is just my opinion on the matter. I just want to give my 2 cents. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys found it informative. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody.